Hey, so this video is going to help you be able to make a simple XY line graph and how to modify those graphs using Google Sheets. It's actually relatively easy once you know what to do. The first thing you're going to do in this experiment is you're going to make two columns. So title A, time in seconds, and B is going to be your temperature in your degrees Celsius. Actually, the hardest thing about this is just sort of typing in and entering all the data. There is an advantage if you have done this electronically, then you can just simply copy and paste the data fairly easy from your original Word document. So I've gone ahead and pasted in here all the time in seconds, and it's actually pretty easy to do that. You can do it in a couple of ways. You can just sort of start by entering a couple of data values like 0, 20, 40, 60, 80. Once you've established a pattern, and I'll show you over here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And so if I've established this pattern like this, just by entering the numbers, what I can do now is I can sort of select, so I left click and select all of those numbers. And now you'll see right here, I've got that little blue square. If I now extend that blue square down as long as I want, it'll automatically populate for you the next numbers in sequence. So that's actually a really easy way for you to extend your data table in terms of time all the way out without actually having to type all these numbers, 720, 740, and so on. You do have to sort of, and you can use that same kind of thing. Like, for example, in my data set, I had 0.1 a number of times. So I actually just typed in negative 0.1, selected that, clicked on that, and it just sort of repopulated all of that data right into there. Okay, the number of times I needed to do that. So that's a trick on how to enter the data quickly. But the data is actually, entering in your data is the piece that sort of takes the longest amount of time. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear this. Now, making a graph is really easy. What you want to do is you want to select your data. So it's really important that you have good headings here because those headings are going to be included in my graph. And I'm going to go ahead and select all my data points all the way down to here. And now you'll notice that there's a blue box around that. And so I'm going to go up to here where it says Insert. I'm going to hit Insert, Chart. Okay, so I double click that. And what it's going to do is it's going to insert a chart for me. Now it's going to automatically make a decision about what kind of chart to make based upon the data that it's looking at. And so this one actually isn't bad. Over here you can see that we have our chart editor and we have setup functions and we have customizing functions. We're going to be using the setup, a little bit of the setup functions. We're going to go over here to line chart and we're going to change that to this one here, a scatter chart. Okay, and there's going to be a reason for that in a minute. And so now what you'll notice is now you can see each of my data points are plotted out by the computer for me. And so when I go into customize, I want to do a couple of other things. I want to go ahead and I want to change the chart title, maybe make it a more interesting chart title. This is actually, the freezing temperature in degrees Celsius of water. I can go ahead and change this icon. I can give it a subtitle. I can change my horizontal axis. I can change my vertical axis. In fact, because I did such a good job originally with my titling, my headings over here, it's already automatically done that for me. There are other features in here that you can go ahead and customize. You can change the color. I wouldn't adjust the series. There's no need to change a legend. Pretty much what you're going to be dealing with is that. And that's great. And so that's how you want to go ahead and do that. You can actually go in and play around with these features and change the colors, the dots, and so on. It is important for this particular graph that we actually don't connect the lines. That's how you make it. It's fairly simple. You can now move and click and drag this and move your chart around. You can select your chart. You can make your chart bigger if you want to. You can put it on a whole separate page. So down here, if you go down to the bottom oh, it's not showing it on my screen, but if you go down to the bottom here, you can add a page, and then you can put your chart right on that page. Okay, so I think it's pretty easy.